I'm going to be 100% honest and say that I didn't think the first time I talked about Stray Kids, my alt group, that I would be telling people to boycott them. I'm going to take the liberty in the first minute of this video to say the obvious, and that this video is pretty much directed at stays, because I don't think anyone who isn't a stay is going to be streaming the song so heavily, although I do welcome anybody outside the fandom to contribute to the conversation as well. Frankly, I think I should have made this video a lot sooner, realistically before the song was even released. My reluctance to do so came from my unwillingness to commit. I didn't want to make an ambiguous video with no real conclusion and leave my position up to interpretation. But I also didn't want to make a video that was taking a position I wasn't confident in. My hesitancy didn't come from should I boycott or not, but rather is it hypocritical to boycott? But before I get too deep into semantics, let me lay down the groundwork. The recent song, Lose My Breath by Stray Kids featuring Charlie Puth is the origin of the schism that is currently happening in Stayville. For anybody fortunate enough to be unaware, there has been a brewing conflict in the fandom as of late. Half of the fandom are dead set on boycotting this song, and the other half are as equally motivated to stream this song as if their life depended on it. To understand both sides, I'm going to be doing a rundown of what the situation is, why people are so angry about it, and why the retaliation to that anger has been a breeding ground for a more zealous, cultish fandom. First of all, the single itself is a collaboration between Stray Kids and the American producer and artist Charlie Puth. When I first caught wind of the single's eventual release, I didn't have very strong feelings about it. Beyond the mediocre music he makes, I was oblivious to the kind of person Charlie Puth was. I was even more disappointed when the credits were out and 3 Racha were barely on them. Say what you want about Stray Kids' music, but boring is literally the only adjective that would be objectively wrong for them and absolutely correct for Charlie Puth. Little did I know, more disappointments were on the way. Soon it came to my attention, and many others, that Charlie Puth is, for a lack of better words, a piece of shit. From allegations of being a misogynist and being a grape apologist, I can't say the actual word, but more recently, he has been aligning himself with Zionism, with the continuous support for posts of that nature, most notably Noah Schnapp's statement about his Zionism is sexy stickers. But the lead producer of the track, Johnny Goldstein, is also a problematic part of the release, being that he is an Israeli Zionist, formerly part of the IDF. This has sparked so much outrage that stays have been trending the hashtag JYPE divest from Zionism. Being that both artists reside under Republic Records, it's no wonder where the collaboration came from. What makes it worse for stays, well, me at least, is the level of promotion this single is getting. Being touted as Stray Kids' expansion into the West, provably incorrect, by the way. The first was with Levanter. Regardless, the single is getting an insane amount of promotion compared to their other records because of that perception. Teaser photos, teaser videos, a music video, remixes, which they've never done for any of their other songs, and an intro video, which, for those unaware, are introductory videos done exclusively for albums, where the members break down writing the song, crafting the choreography, and other creative elements they personally influenced. The point of the boycott is to send a clear message to the company that releases, including the work of Zionists, will not be supported and have no place in Stray Kids' discography. To be clear, this boycott is for this single alone, and not for the comeback that will happen in July. Just one song. I have seen people, deliberately or not, misconstruing our intent, claiming that those boycotting think that the royalties that the producers gained will go directly into Israel's pockets. Of course not. No one is arguing that. I just wanted to address that stupid rhetoric really quickly. Another pushback the boycott has received is that those participating should do so quietly as to not hurt Stray Kids. Which, I mean, do y'all even know what a boycott is at this point? It's meant to disrupt the peace. It's not meant to be done silently or in private. Thankfully, I haven't seen anyone actively defend these actions or try to argue that these associations aren't grounds for a boycott, although that could be my side of the internet talking. Rather, people streaming the song, regardless of the producers on it, are of the mind that, yes, Charlie Puth is not a great guy, but I'm here to support Stray Kids, and I won't ignore this project just so the members can be hurt in the process. Or if I were to be more brash about it, put K-pop over morals. If you want to support Stray Kids, literally stream any of their other songs. It's not hard. They have hundreds. Literally hundreds. Stays have even decided to stream Levanter in the wake of the boycott as a way to counteract the Lose My Breath support. Stray Kids will not lose the momentum they've gained thus far over one single. Nor will the supposed prestige Charlie Puth brings to this project skyrocket them up in the charts in a way that Stray Kids can't do themselves without continuing to release music of their standard. Just to be clear, Stray Kids were charting well in the US prior to this and of course after their deal with Republic Records, peaking at #1 for both the US Billboard 200 and US World Albums with 5-star as a reference. They are by no means struggling with the statistical side of things, but even if they were, would that truly justify blindly streaming the single? Would supporting Stray Kids really make up for the moral failing of putting more importance on charting instead of caring who Stray Kids are associating themselves with? Do you want the long answer or the short answer? Too bad, I'm giving you both. Short answer, no. Long answer, fuck no. Okay, I've got my point across, but what is the cultish aspect I mentioned in the beginning of the video? I've already touched upon it. The fever this debacle has inspired for streaming is insane. I know I just said you shouldn't care about numbers so much, and I stand by that, but this is a point I'm trying to make. Even with half the fandom ignoring the release, the first day numbers of Lose My Breath on Spotify beat that of Maniac. Let me repeat that. It beat Maniac with half fandom power. I've never seen Stays ride so hard for a song that could do so much harm to the members. Like, Singman released OSTs not so long ago. 2 days, if my memory serves, which only barely beats out Lose My Breath as of me recording and will surely pass it by tomorrow. Nevertheless, I return to the initial uncertainty about making this video. Like I've said, I was going to boycott and I have thus far, but I wondered how far down the rabbit hole this could go. Because by following the same logic I've spelled out for the world to see, then the other opportunities that Stray Kids have had should be receiving the same treatment. For example, Hyunjin with Versace, Felix with Louis Vuitton and Walking on the Runway. Or what about Stray Kids being the first K-pop group to be invited to the Met Gala? All amazing achievements that I can't help but be a little proud of, yet all interwoven in the same Zionist association. I can't exactly boycott these events because I didn't contribute to them in the first place, yet the Stay fandom have reveled in these accomplishments, and yet condemned the song. Honestly, I don't have an answer for this one, unfortunately. I wish I could end this video on a stronger note, but I figured it's better to release it now so that people can know my stance, and maybe later down the line, when I have cemented my opinions, I can use this video as a reference. At the end of the day, I want people to leave this video realizing whether you're on the fence, whether you don't care about this topic, whether you are a Stay who is, fervently streaming this song, to realize that this boycott is not an indictment of Stray Kids. It is not some kind of punishment. It is not targeting them. It is very much for their benefit. It is something that, we want something to change so that things can be better for Stray Kids. Because something that we don't want to admit, but is a very big part of K-pop and the music industry in general, is that brand image is a very big part of it. And this is kind of a selfish reason, but if I have to stoop this low to get people to care, then I guess I gotta do it. People associated with Zionism or Zionistic tendencies aren't a good look right now. I feel like human decency, especially with this genocide going on, should be enough to urge people to boycott this song, but unfortunately we don't live in that kind of world. And it kind of breaks my heart that the Stay fandom has turned into this. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I have been a stay for 6 years. I remember how it was like in the beginning, and this was just not it. I truly think that this is a consequence of the stay fandom growing so large and kind of unrestricted. I don't know if this is something that happened to Blackpink and BTS, but I do know that those two fandoms are notorious for being very toxic, and I can see stays turning into that. Now, I do like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, they are my alt group. I'm standing beside them. They're the first group that got me into K-pop, and I've been here for the ride. That being said, I don't know if I'm going to stay in Stayville after this. Like, I'll consider myself a stay. I'm a fan, you know, but this really just might be it for me. Regardless, I don't want to say I hope you enjoyed the video because that's not really the vibe I was going for, but I do hope it sparked some discussion, and, you know, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear it. All right, bye-bye.